They're indebted to me because I'm protective of the rose and keeping the rose safe.
Oh, and also they fear me is a helpful aspect, not a hindering aspect. Because
Is it?
yeah, because it's a way that you can control them by scaring them.
Okay, so
If you were afraid
is
of them, that would be a hindering aspect.
what about them hating me?
Yes.
They hate me is a hindering aspect?
Yeah.
Great, how about that? Let's do that.
Okay. And when you have time, we can make these more colorful, but just getting the general idea of what the relationship is good.
Can I just have the point
Yes,
left over
yes.
at the end then?
If you want to, yeah.
Okay.
You
I'll
don't
do
want to. You don't want a weak character as a relationship.
I already have. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna make a rank 2.
Cool.
And just have 1 point left.
Okay. DC, you spent all your points on one character.
Yeah, I did.
Awesome.
Fuck me up, fam.
Nox, is it 2 relationships that you have?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got your father.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, I see. They love you, and you love them. Yeah, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That works. Marielle.
Uncomplicated father relationship. Just
And when I say
about
you
time.
love them, it means like you really do like this is someone who means the world to you, and that's what makes it sort of hindering for you. Marielle, oh, you also love. Oh, they love you and hate you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this is a complicated relationship.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's a Facebook
I love
status
you.
now.
I hate you.
So I can just basically like make them a little bit unpredictable towards you.
Well, I underneath the little bullet points.
That's Corn, former lover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So I can, yeah. And what we'll do is in our off time, you can make those aspects like a little bit more like colorful. But for now, like just using that as the seed of what the aspect is it works. That's awesome. Amir, you said that you wanted to make sure you had the
right points because I'm not sure how to classify like the rose. What rank is the rose? What rank are the thorns?
It's up to you. I would say, I mean, the rose is really powerful. I would say the rose.
Are they powerful though?
I would say they're ranked 6, to be honest.
I mean, the thorns have to be powerful too.
Like
Like
if the rose is the rose, I mean.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the rose. But that doesn't mean that the character
Do you
itself
want me
is
to read
powerful.
the description of what 6 means? Someone.
Yes.
Someone powerful. Yeah, someone powerful. 5 would be someone influential. 4 would be someone incredibly skilled. Like I don't think the rose would be lower than a 6. Like.
Right.
I mean, she's. Yeah, she is at least. I would say she's like a 7 because she's at the
I
top
know,
of society.
I'm
Right,
almost,
yeah.
I'm almost going to say she's 7 and you can't afford it.
yeah, she's like off the charts.
You guys.
Unless you just.
That doesn't-
Storyline with
That doesn't necessarily mean you
With
still
them.
can't know her. It just means you can't.
It means she doesn't care about you so much. Doesn't mean you
Right.
can't have a relationship with her. It just means she doesn't have any
Right.
positive feelings
Okay.
towards you.
Well, then the thorns are a 5 though, at least, right? Influential, like the thorns are big, so 5 or a 6.
They have to
So
because my character's dad is a 5, and he's not even a thorn.
yeah. So I think the relationship with the thorns is good enough because that's a cool dynamic between I think the 2 places, the 3 places essentially.
This means that, that they work for you, just so you know.
The thorns.
Yeah, like that's the element of the. Like maybe we should be specific. It shouldn't. You should name a specific person.
In the thorns?
Yeah, it's got to be a specific person, just not all the thorns, because that's way
Okay.
too powerful.
Yeah, you're gonna end up our BBEG, our big bad evil guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. I'll be right back.
It'll be our BBEG.
There we go.
Let me see.
No, that's not his name. What's his name?
I'm checking in.
So that means you get to make a thorn. That's cool.
Yeah, you get to create a thorn as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Who is Miriel Knox? Like, she's from the kingdom, I'm guessing, too, right? Oh, no, from
No,
the
she lives in.
Brightwoods.
She's from the Brightwoods.
Oh, she's. I just realized that she's a lover. That's like.
Yeah. In quotation marks.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Oh my.
Oh, do you go to the festival just to see her?
That sounds real complicated.
It is real complicated. I haven't decided that yet. Probably not.
Actually,
That's why she's
Knox,
pissed at me.
Can I change your hindering aspect for her?
Yeah, well, what do you
Let me-
suggest, sir?
I'm just going to suggest that you love her in like the way that you shouldn't.
Huh. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
I mean, you can also add that she hates you too, and just take 2 complications.
I mean, I think. I guess it depends on like where I want the focus of the complication to be.
Sure.
Because in my mind, I pictured it as like the way that I had envisioned it in my head is that her and Marielle had like a thing. Maybe she went and hung out in the Brightwoods for a bit, and they got to know each other. And my character, knowing that she really can't act on those feelings, maybe walled herself off.
Yeah.
And Mariel developed feelings, not really thinking about it, like, oh, you'll do it for me, right? Like, I'm that important. And then my character is like, no, I can't. I serve something greater than this. I have to go.
Right.
Can your bard sing a song about that? Because
I don't know.
if R&B exists in this fantasy universe, there's an album about it. There's an Usher album about that right there.
Yeah. I think I want to keep the hindering aspect that Mariel has some sort of like unrequited love feelings for me. And then my character can still have those like.
I want to feel your connection to her, because I think her loving and hating you doesn't give you like a pull toward like.
Oh, I see what
You know
you're
what I
saying.
mean? Like why she's still important
Yeah.
to you to be like a relationship with you.
That's true. Okay,
You
yeah,
know?
no, that makes sense. Okay, I'll change it.
Just so I know why she's in your life.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. How are you doing, Amir?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I've chosen my thorn. So the thorn that hates me but is indebted to me is the thorn of Rampion.
The thorn of what?
What's Rampion?
Rampion.
Is that Rumpelstiltskin?
What's Rampion?
No, Rampion is a
Rapunzel?
type of vegetable akin to lettuce.
What is it?
Is it
Ah!
Rapunzel?
That's Rapunzel.
Oh, is it?
Oh.
Okay.
Get wrecked, nerds.
Yeah, and I'm feeling like the Rapunzel is the story of a witch who stole a child.
Oh,
So the parallels
Awesome.
between that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There is also
Cool.
that fairy tale of not because I'm trying to make you change your mind, but there's also that fairy tale of where, like a witch, and I can't remember what it is, but they bring the kid to like a farm family, and she visits, and they have to like feed the kid something. I can't remember the details, but that's another fairy tale that exists.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
I know
That's
that was
cool.
super specific and helpful.
Cool.
Nice.
So do the powers that the knights answering to the Thorn of Rampion have, is it like related to growth?
Yeah, like agriculture and
Yeah,
yeah.
I think anything that has to do with growth, because the idea of complete like unnatural abundance of something
Mm-hmm.
is a very cool.
Are they
Go from that,
descendants
yeah.
of Rapunzel or descendants of the witch?
Ooh. That's
Who
fun.
knows?
And maybe that's why you have a little bit of a closer relationship too.
Well, that's what I think, because if they're both descendants of the witch, or one of them is descendant of Rapunzel and one of them is descendant of the witch, and there's still that sort of contentious bloodline, and that sort of pattern of one of them being taken by the other against their will and being raised as one of their own, I think is pretty cool. So if the Thorn of Rampion is in charge of the knight that happens to be the sorceress's child, and then the actual child, so it's sort of the opposite of what happened with Rapunzel, where the witch stole. Well, no, it's actually my child that now I cannot speak to and has been taken by the thorn.
Cool. So your child is a knight of...
As a knight of the rose.
And
is
spicy.
Is a knight of... Yeah, well, it's a knight of the rose, but is...
Order of
the Rampion. Belongs to the Thorn of Rampion.
Cool.
Did you say if your character's child is a boy or girl?
No. I haven't decided yet.
Cool.
Okay.
Do you think we have time? This next part is probably the most important part.
Okay.
Let's just move on to that step. And then the rest, I think we can just do offline. It's just picking your skills and stuff, which we can always just do later.
Totally.
Okay, so the last step that we'll do today on the stream are your character's goals. And this is sort of the fuel for the entire story. The story goes nowhere if your characters don't have goals. They're going to be striving towards this to the bitter end. So what you're going to come up with is anywhere from 2 to 4 goals. I think because we don't have a lot of time, maybe we'll just do 2 each. And then in our off time, maybe we can come up with like a third if you want, at least. And so, yeah, so basically the reward structure for this game is that at the end of the session, instead of there being refresh, Dylan, which is in Fate, usually you get Fate points every session for free. Instead, you have to work for it in this game. You have to follow your goals and show that you've followed your goals. And at the end of the session, you'll get Fate points back for following your goals, basically.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So, there are 3 categories for goals. There are ambitions, grudges, and regrets. And I would recommend that your 2 that you make for now are different from each other. So at least like 1 ambition and 1 grudge, or one grudge and 1 regret. It's like some combination. And the sentence structure is, I wrote in a sentence structure in there. You don't have to follow it exactly word for word, but it gives you a general idea of how to word a goal. It's typically 2 sentences. You could always have a 3rd sentence as well to sort of help clarify what you're trying to do. But yeah, it's actionable. Like you got to know exactly what you're doing.
Right. So is it the one that the first part of it is sort of a belief and the second part is what I'm going to do about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The way I sort of like to think of it is it's like your motive is the first sentence and your action is the second sentence. Something useful is when in your action part, have a specific character in it or have a specific place in it. Have something that's very specific in it. And also another thing that I want to propose is veer away from words like find or discover, because it still sort of puts you in this passive, like observational role instead of being like someone that is going after something to like make something happen. Like finding and discovering things is something you do to achieve your goal, but it's not your goal.
Like what happens once you find it, kind of thing.
Exactly. Like what are you going to do? Yeah.
So it's ambitions, grudges, and regrets.
Yeah. You just have to do 2 for now. Including another PC. Actually, if you can include a PC in one of them, even if it's not these first 2, but one of them, so that we can all sort of get our characters to have connections as well, that is also a really good thing to have. Dylan, you said that you have yours?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
My goals currently, I don't have any that include the players, but I can make a 3rd one. Um,
Yep, we can do that
my-
off screen too.